I love this kind of weather actually, when it's kind of stormy and gloomy. This is one big hand. So it was raining out of buckets earlier on, and as soon as the sun came out I said, well, I obviously need to go for a walk now. And all the leaves are falling and they're being chased across the lawn. That just awakens the inner child in me. I just get very joyous and excited. Looks like kind of elaborate dagger from a computer game. Or wand. Looks really cool how the waterfall is just trickling down on you. And here's a nice little downpour. November weather. The advantage of strong rainfall is great waterfalls. All the little waterfalls start looking much bigger and much nicer all of a sudden. That is just about as high as the sun would get on the noon. It's pretty low. Look, it's still out at this time of the day. It's the moon. It's about 9:30 in the morning or something. So for the strangest of reasons, we just have found a Thors Hammer on Canoe Hill. Should I try to pick it up? Let's see. Nah, it's properly heavy. My. How very interesting. The mist is starting to rise. So it appears that we have the first snow on the mountains. All the way there in the distance. And those are some pretty high mountains. So that is a mountain called Ben Vorlich, most likely. It's the very pointy one. And you can see other mountains just faintly of some snow as well. There's definitely been some snow in the highlands. There you can see another one. That's Schiehallion there. You can see some snow up behind the ridge. And you can see Mil River. Is that how you pronounced it?
I think so.
These are little birches growing on that window. I'd love to have one in front of my window. So this is what I mean by low light sun. It really creates this beautiful warm shade sitting on the leaves. It almost looks like gold. So here we are again. The shadows are getting longer and the light is getting lower by the day. Look at how beautiful that looks. It's definitely worth having the low sun. But to get stuff like the northern lights, I think you would have to go a lot further north. I think you can see them on Shetland and the Orkney Islands. Slowly edging closer to the edge. Don't want to fall down there. It's a great view. Also from here you can see Kingseat Hill Fort, which is there, that's the top.
You can just about make out the stones.
Yeah. And then this is the A9, the road down there. And there seems to be some kind of pass going between Lowland and Highland Perthshire. So the area up north is called Atholl. And then the lowlands, specifically an area called Gurry. And different tribes lived in different areas, huh? Or did they? Was it just one tribe who lived in both?
I think it was the same tribe. I think it was all Caledonians.
The land of Caledonia.
Yep, Caledonia. But I mean, Perthshire is Caledonia plus Strathearn and probably Forthwith as well. But most of Perthshire is Caledonia.
I'm surprised that some of the heather is still blooming. This is what you're dealing with when you're going up to the spot. Some steep edges. I mean, if you fall down there, that'd probably break something for sure. But the view's good. I think we were sitting up there somewhere earlier. I wonder if this is what November's going to be like, just fog alternating with rain. And now there's rain and fog at the same time. Highly atmospheric though. You can hear the softest of noises that the rain is making on the water. Oh, where are they going? I wonder. I think the horse wants to be fed, but there's signs saying please don't feed the horses, so...
It's not like we have anything to feed it.
Oh no, we don't have anything. I guess if we had apples, but... Do not feed the horses. I am fully convinced that every day in November is going to be like this. Just some low clouds sitting here. It looks atmospheric, but it's also pretty washed out. That looks really cool though. The cloud wafting up in between the trees. That's a really interesting looking cloud. It's just descending straight into the hill. All the colours of autumn have disappeared, most of them. And this is what winter tends to look like. I quite like the fuzzy gradient that the sky is forming with the hills. It looks like a floating ghost leaf. This is the last leaf on this tree. So there we are. All the leaves are gone. This is full on winter mode. This is what it's going to look like for the rest of the winter. It's very bare of colour, which is probably the hardest part about the winter. The areas that don't get very much snow, they tend to look very drab all throughout, all the way until March or something, or April even. So then everybody's waiting for the sun to come out to at the very least inject a little bit of colour. Hello. We are on our way to Craiganova, which is a walk that we have done previously before, so hopefully we will not lose our way like we did the first time. It's quite a long walk, it's a couple of hours. Most of it is just on forest paths like these, but at the very least you get a little bit of colour here with the green. It's pretty much all bare as far as the other trees go. The larches are dying off as well. So it's almost the end of November. Basically winter is here at this point. Although I expected it to be much colder. Got my winter jacket on. But it's still really warm, so it continues to be warm. At this point, there's only one thing to do. Just wait for the snow to come. And who knows when that's going to happen. So I'm pretty sure that's the top of the hill that we're going to, isn't it?
Yep.
And you can see it loud and clear. And the first time we were there was a cloud sitting right on top, so we couldn't see anything at all. No wonder we missed it. It was like when the clouds sit right on top of the hill and kind of just cozy into them. So when they cut down the wood, they always leave some of these behind so that little animals can live in them. Maybe the hedgehogs are gearing up for the winter just now. But there is also some kind of structure or building out there, which I was quite curious about last time, but I didn't really go and check, so we'll definitely go up and check now. So what is this? How interesting. It's just a little nook. Do you think this is for hunting or something? It's just for somebody. Good question. It's basically a little area where you can hide yourself behind, and then that gives you a good view on the path down there. I would like to think they're hunting deer, but who knows?
I mean, quite possibly, if the idea is that you hunt deer and deer come up along the path there.
Oh well, maybe anybody has any experience of hunting or have seen something like this can enlighten us. But now we know. So we have made it. This little path leads up to the top of the hill that we're looking for. So this is like a new growth of replanted trees. I wonder when they would have been replanted. Maybe about 20 years ago. In the meantime, it seems the cloud is coming up right there. Looks pretty scenic. And it gets better and better. Oh, that's really nice. And that's the top of the hill right there. There's a whole big cloud sitting right there. And no view today. So normally you would get a view in some of the highlands in this direction. But once again, a cloud is sitting right in front of us. These birds. So I'm on the other end of the hill, and it looks like it's about to be swallowed by the cloud. I think this is about fairly similar conditions as we had the first time, so I guess we're both lucky that we know which way to go and that it wasn't quite as cloudy earlier when we came. Now you can just about see one of the paths on the other side. That is the backside of Craigvinian, by the way. So Craigvinian is on the other side and coming down this path. So that's when we actually spotted the hill from coming down that path and became interested in it. I'm just sitting here taking pictures. Wow, that massive cloud has disappeared already. These clouds move really, really quickly. It sort of just dissolved. That's where I was just now, over there, behind. Now, I could spend probably half the day here just watch the clouds, but unfortunately we have to leave and go back. It's a very long way, which we came up along there and then around the whole entirety length of the hill and then somewhere over there. It started to rain. This path is very slippery. Well, that was fun. Here's another one of my favourites. Raindrops on plants. This is absolutely beautiful. I think it's important not just to see nature, but also to touch it. So here's a bit of a close-up of the droplets, because I like to get up really close. I find this fascinating. The sun is getting a lot brighter. That looks quite nice. Clouds there around Kinnell Hill. And the city of Perth.